Welcome back to part 3 of my all ice walkabout. In part 2 of this series, I moved from my camp over near the timbered shoreline, now over closer to the opposite bank, where I figured I'd have a better chance of catching some fish, and I did. So after having caught all the fish I needed for at least a couple of meals, I set up my shelter and I got settled into camp. This ice fishing tent, it does a great job of blocking the wind, and it's obviously a lot roomier than the tarp I slept under last night. As I mentioned before, this walkabout is more about the experience of isolation and solitude. So I'm enjoying a few luxuries, I admit, that I haven't brought along on most of my previous walkabouts. I'm going to start out by going in the ice fishing tent and start cleaning the fish. Alright, it's time to clean fish. I think I'll start with the trout. So the trout I'm going to bake in aluminum foil. The perch I'm going to fillet and fry the fillets. Bread them in flour and salt, pepper, and butter, and fillet them. Alright, now we'll do some perch. Alright, now I'm finishing up the perch. I'll show you how I fillet them. I don't profess to know the best way to do it. I just do it my way. Okay, so I've already killed them, severed the spinal cord. First thing I do is just slit the skin up either side of the dorsal fin. And then a pair of pliers are really helpful for doing perch. So I hang on tight. I'm just going to cut through the skin, go down to the backbone, and just follow the backbone part way up about to the belly, the back of the belly. Alright, now I'm going to cut down on either side of the backbone, go down until I feel and hear ribs. You don't want to cut through those ribs. Just go down to the ribs. Alright, when I get to this point, then I generally just put the knife there and pull the meat away from the ribs. Alright, set that aside. Do the other one. A lot of work for one tiny bit of meat. Alright, so there's not much left. This is all gut and ribs and bone. Just guts, ribs, and bone, and head. The fish is finally ready for cooking. I've seasoned the trout with salt, pepper, and a little butter, and then wrapped it in foil for roasting over an open fire. The skinless, boneless perch fillets, they've been seasoned, rolled in flour, and now they're ready for frying in a generous amount of butter over the campfire. Since this was an all-ice walkabout, I had to bring along my own firewood if I wanted a campfire. And I also brought along a fire pan, some bricks to keep the fire up off the ice, and I also brought a fire grate, to make cooking a little bit easier. It was a lot of extra weight and effort, but it was definitely worth it. Having a bright, warm campfire out on the ice is a unique experience, and if you haven't done it before, you really have been missing out. So after waiting for a good bed of coals to form, I put the foil-wrapped trout on to cook, and I threw the perch fillets into the pan. It's really too bad that you can't smell that wonderful aroma, but at least you can hear the sizzle. It still makes me hungry all over again each time I watch this. As soon as the fish is done, I'll take it into the tent and enjoy my feast, out of the wind and out of the cold. Alright, I'm in my nice ice fishing shed, shack, tent, whatever, and just got the fish ready. That's the perch. Looks delicious. I'm also going to have some rice tonight with it, and I'm also cooking the trout in a foil wrapper, but I'm probably going to wait and eat it tomorrow for lunch, cold. So can't eat all this fish tonight. This is good. I have to say, I went to bed very full tonight. Good morning. It's the morning of day 3. Boy, last night was a hurricane. It snowed and blew, mostly blew. I thought it was going to blow over the tent, actually, even though I've got this thing, anchored down with ice anchors. It would have been a disaster if it had blown over. Anyway, all the trails are drifted in. Whatever tracks I'd left before, they're gone now. And but still got it to myself. It's a beautiful lake. The plan for today is to get some breakfast and do a little bit of fishing this morning here before I break camp. Then break camp and head for the truck. It's going to be a bit of a slog going through this new snow, but I don't have as far to go today. So there you have breakfast. Some oatmeal banana muffins, some hard-boiled eggs, and some hot postum. Pretty good stuff. I hesitated to include this scene because I think it shows just how soft I might be getting here in my old age. Here I am eating breakfast out of the wind and out of the cold in the comfort of my ice fishing tent. That's equivalent almost to eating breakfast in bed in my mind, but it's what it is, and I guess I am getting a little softer as I age. Perhaps, though, it might show I'm getting a little bit wiser, too. Alright, this morning I'm fishing from inside my ice fishing tent. Get out of the wind a little bit. It's also more fun because with the darkness in here you can see down the hole quite a bit further. Actually see fish bite it sometimes if you're not fishing too deep. Today I'm fishing for trout, so I don't expect to catch nearly as many, but it'll be interesting to learn something new here. Now it's time for lunch. I'm going to have the fish that I cooked last night, along with some rice that I cooked this morning, and also some leftover boiled egg that I didn't eat this morning. So getting towards the end of the walkabout, so I'm kind of running out of options, but it looks pretty good to me. Well, I've taken down camp, I've packed it all up, and I'm getting ready to head out. It's been a good walkabout. I've enjoyed it. I've accomplished everything that I set out to do, and now it's time to head back home. I've seen some beautiful country. I've enjoyed an abundance of peace and solitude. I've been inspired and renewed by the wonders of nature, and now I'm looking forward to getting home and seeing my loved ones again. As I arrive back at my truck, I'll leave you with one last thought expressed by a decal that I have in my back window. I hope you'll take the time to get out and wander a little bit on your own in the great outdoors. You might be amazed at what you're going to find. So good luck and enjoy.